Hello students, good morning. In the previous class we have completed female reproductive system, okay, reproductive cycle, okay, external genitalia of female, secondary sexual characteristics of female, okay. We have seen the process of spermatogenesis, process of oogenesis, how sperms are produced, how ovum or secondary oocyte it is produced. In this lecture, we are going to study the process of fertilization. How fertilization of sperm and egg takes place, that we are going to study in this lecture. Okay, so let's start the next point, that is fertilization. Okay, come on. First, we will discuss what is fertilization. That already we know. Fertilization, it is the fusion of sperm, okay, with secondary oocyte, fine, or it is a mixing of chromosomes from the haploid sperm which is produced by spermatogenesis, okay. So the fusion of sperm, haploid sperm with the haploid egg or ovum, it is known as fertilization. Fertilization result in storage of chromosome number, okay. As we know that both the fusing cells, these are haploid, okay. So when their chromosome mix, ploidy level is restored, a diploid zygote it is formed. That zygote then develops into embryo, okay. So the process of mixing of chromosomes of haploid sperm and haploid egg, it is known as fertilization. We are going to see so many interesting things, okay, in this. So just carefully listen to all the points. We are going to study the entire process of fertilization. Now first point we will see how egg or ovum it is produced, okay. So first point we will discuss, that is formation of secondary oocyte, okay. As we are going to study all the steps in this. Now this point already we have discussed in the reproductive phase of female, that how secondary oocyte it is produced. Never egg or ovum it is produced unless and until sperm is not available for fertilization. On the 14th day of menstrual cycle, when ovulation takes place, secondary oocyte which is arrested at metaphase 2, it is released from ovary, okay. That secondary oocyte, it is captured by the fimbria or fallopian tube. From there, the secondary oocyte, it is transferred toward ampulla, fine. So once released from ovary, secondary oocyte remain viable in ampulla for 2 days, okay. It waits over there for fertilization. If at that time insemination occur, if sperm reaches up to the secondary oocyte, if it enters in secondary oocyte, then only secondary oocyte completes second meiotic division and the nucleus converted into the nucleus of egg or ovum, fine. So if we consider the site of fertilization, the site of fertilization, it is ampulla region of oviduct or fallopian tube, fine. So formation of secondary oocyte, the oocyte when it is formed from ovary, okay, it reaches up to the ampulla, okay. It is viable for 2 days, but from that fertilization can possible only within 24 hours. In that 24 hour also, the best time for fertilization are first 14 to 15 hours only. After that, slowly its fertilization capacity decreases, but still fertilization can take place within 24 hours. After that, the secondary oocyte of the egg cell degenerates and is eaten by phagocyte cell without leaving any scar of its existence, fine. So first for fertilization what we need? We need secondary oocyte. Now next point we will discuss, okay, insemination. Okay. Now what is meant by insemination? Insemination is deposition of semen in the vagina of female reproductive tract, okay. At the time of sexual intercourse or the coitus, male can deposit 3 to 4 ml of semen in the vagina. Now, while studying spermatogenesis, we have seen all the things related to semen, all the things related to sperm. Okay, fine. What type of secretions or what type of substances are present in semen. So, insemination is deposition of semen in the vagina or female reproductive tract. During coitus or during single coitus or sexual intercourse, male can deposit about 3 to 4 ml of semen. Okay, this quantity consists of about 200 millions of sperms. How many sperms are present? About 200 millions of sperms. From that, only 2 million sperms can reach up to the egg cell. See, means only 2%. Okay, out of 200 million sperms, only 2% sperms can reach, okay, can try to fertilize the egg cell. Okay, now we have seen in the previous lectures that whenever sperms are present in the male reproductive system, they remain viable for few weeks. As you know that epididymis, it is a part where sperms can be stored for so many weeks. But once sperms are deposited in the female reproductive tract, they remain viable only for 72 hours. Okay, means they remain viable only for 3 days. Fine. See, I just try to understand whichever things I am telling. Insemination, it is deposition of semen in the vagina at the time of sexual intercourse. Male can inseminate about 3 to 4 ml of semen, which consists of around 200 millions of sperms. From that, only 2 million sperms, okay, can reach up to the egg cell. Why? Why this much less number? There are so many reasons. First reason, because of high acidic pH of female reproductive tract. As we discussed, that vagina as well as different parts of female reproductive system, they have high acidic pH. So most of the sperms get killed when they exposed to high acidic pH. Second reason, okay, second reason is what? There are phagocytic cells. Okay, obviously sperm, it is a kind of different cell. It is a foreign cell which is entering in the female body, and it is haploid cell also. Okay, so phagocytes can eat most of the sperm. Fine. And the next reason is that some sperms may not have the proper shape. They may not have the proper speed by which they can reach up to the egg cell. Fine. So because of these reasons, very few sperms can reach up to the egg cell. Sometimes what happens, as soon as insemination takes place, sperm just move, they swim at a very fast rate, and most of the sperm, they reach up to the egg cell. Only by moving by speed or with a great speed and to reach up to the egg cell, it is not sufficient. Once sperms are deposited in the vagina, they undergo a physiological change, okay, or they undergo a process of activation. That process, it is known as capacitation. So capacitation, it is the physiological activation of sperms in the female reproductive tract. That is known as capacitation. Unless and until sperms do not undergo capacitation, okay, they are not able to fertilize the egg cell. So suppose deposited sperms, they are moving at a very fast rate to reach up to the egg cell. But if they have not matured, they are not able to fertilize the egg cell. In human, capacitation takes around 7 hours after insemination. After insemination, sperms need 7 hours for capacitation. Then only they are able to fertilize the egg cell. Fine. So we will mention all these things. I have not mentioned anything for secondary oocyte because that already we have learned. Now insemination. Insemination means what? Okay, it is the deposition of deposition of semen in vagina of female during coitus. Now coitus meaning sexual intercourse. Fine. How much amount of semen it is deposited? The amount or the volume of semen deposited, it is 3 to 4 ml. Okay. This consists of about 200 millions of sperms. 200 millions of sperms. But from that, only 2 million sperms can reach up to egg cell. Okay. So how much? Only 2% sperm succeed, okay, to reaching the egg cell. Now, how these sperms are transported, okay, once they reach up to the female reproductive tract. So once insemination takes place, next we will see what is the fate of this sperm. What is happening with these sperms as soon as they are inseminated in the female genital tract. You have to remember the reasons why very less number of sperms. Okay, so for that say sperm production takes place in million number, because very few sperms they reach up to the egg cell. Now what are the reasons for this? First reason, acidic pH of female reproductive tract. Okay. Second pH, that is second reason, that is presence of phagocytic cell. They eat these sperms. And the third reason, that is high temperature of female reproductive tract. We know that yes, for spermatogenesis low temperature is required. For that they are located outside the body. But in case of female reproductive tracts are intra-abdominal. Okay. So when sperms inseminated, they get exposed to high temperature. So that high temperature also kills a huge number of sperms. Fine. So after insemination, let's see what is happening with these sperms. Okay. So fate of sperm. Okay. Instead of fate, we'll write transport of sperm. Okay. Because fate, we have seen here that what is happening with them. Very few sperm they reach up to the egg cell. Now once they are inseminated, they have to reach up to the ampulla region, because secondary oocyte is waiting over there for sperms. Fine. So how these sperms they are transporting up to the egg cell? See, sperm has to transfer a distance of around 30 centimeters. Okay, means once they get deposited in the vagina to ampulla, okay, they have to travel a distance of about 30 centimeters. For that, lot of energy it is required. Already they have mitochondria, okay, which act as a storehouse of energy which is required during their transfer. But once they get deposited, again they need a huge amount of energy, okay, because they have to travel a distance of around 30 centimeters. So once they get deposited, okay, they travel, or they have to travel a distance of 30 centimeters. Now how they move? They are moving with a flagellar movement, okay, because sperm, it is the only cell in the body which has flagella. Okay, so as you know that the sperm has a flagella. Okay, so it shows the beating of flagella, or because of the flagellar movement it swims. As I told you, only speed it is not important. Okay, for that physiological maturation of sperm it is also required. Unless they do not undergo the process of capacitation, they are not able to fertilize the egg cell. Okay, so transport of sperm, we will mention some points over here. Now from where they go? They travel, or sperms travel from vagina to ampulla. Okay, from vagina to ampulla. How much distance they have to travel? They have to travel a distance of around 30 centimeters. They move by flagellar movements. Okay, move by beating of flagella. Move by beating of flagella at a speed Speed of, what is the speed of its transfer? 3 millimeter per minute. Okay, very important. Total distance, how much distance they are going to travel? They are going to travel a distance of 30 centimeters. At what speed? The speed of 3 millimeters per minute. From this you can calculate how much time a sperm needs to reach up to the egg cell, okay, once it gets deposited in the vagina. Fine. So in this way they are getting transported. Along with this, the peristaltic movement of female reproductive tract, they also help in the transfer of gametes, because these sperms, they have already used lot of energy for depositing into the vagina. Now still they have to travel a distance of 30 centimeter. So here there are prostaglandins which are present in the cervical plug, okay, or the fluid. Then different lubricating fluid which is secreted by the vagina. So it causes the peristaltic movement, and this peristaltic movement of female reproductive tract also help in the movement of sperm. Fine. So in due course, okay, they try to reach up to the egg cell. Fine. Now, next what happens? There is a capacitation. Capacitation. Okay. As I discussed before, what is this capacitation? Capacitation, it is the functional maturation. This is the final functional maturation of sperm in female reproductive tract. In NEET, definitely this question can be asked, because before also this question had come for NEET. Capacitation takes place in the female body. It does not take place in males. Fine. So capacitation, it is a final maturation of sperm in the female reproductive tract. As I told you, only speed is not sufficient. Okay, otherwise the one who moves at a faster rate will be able to fertilize the egg cell. No, the sperm has to undergo the process of capacitation, as well as after that they have to move at a, or they have to run at a faster speed. That sperm can only fertilize the egg cell. So capacitation is what? Capacitation is final functional maturation. Final functional maturation. Capacitation is final functional maturation of sperms in female reproductive tract. Okay, in female reproductive tract. Okay, this is known as capacitation. In human male, in case of human, it takes about 7 hours. Okay, so 7 hours are required for maturation of sperm. Okay, so properly, or the well matured sperm which runs at a faster speed, the one who reaches the egg cell first, and if it tries to fertilize the egg cell, then only fertilization can take place. Okay. Now during capacitation, what happens, or what is this reaction? Now there is a sperm. On the acrosome membrane, there are so many glycoproteins which are attached to it. Okay. Because of this, sperm is slightly heavier. So during capacitation, these glycoproteins, they are removed from it. Okay. So the sperm become very light in weight, and it can move, or it can swim at much faster there. Okay. So capacitation, it is a very important process. Okay. Without that, sperms will not attain the final functional maturity, and they will not be able to fertilize the egg cell. Fine. So before actual mixing of chromosomes, okay, these events take place, okay, and then rest of the events we will study. Now till sperm and egg, they have not met, okay, so these things or these event takes place before they meet each other. What is the first? That is the formation of secondary oocyte, formation as well as release of secondary oocyte, insemination, during which sperms are deposited in the female reproductive tract. Sperms are transported from vagina to the ampulla region. Now, as I told you, sperm remain viable only for 72 hours. So that point we will mention here, viable for 72 hours. Okay. Whereas in male body, they are able to remain viable for many weeks. But once they deposited into female reproductive tract, they are able to, or they remain viable only for 72 hours for 3 days. From that also, first 2 days, they have the best fertilization capacity. So once they transport, as well as at the same time they undergo the capacitation, it is the final functional maturation of sperm in female reproductive tract. So full and final maturation takes place. Now sperm is ready to fertilize the egg cell. Now after this we will see, okay, what events or what type of events occur at the time of fertilization. When sperm, now the sperm it is fully mature, okay, it is ready to fertilize the egg cell. Now we will see what is happening actually at the time of fertilization. Now let's see what actual events are occurring at the time of fertilization. So next one, cortical reaction. Cortical reaction. Sorry. First, acrosomal reaction. Okay. Now these are actual events or the physical events which take place when sperm come in contact with the egg membrane. Fine. Now acrosomal reaction. Acrosomal reaction involves secretion of hydrolytic enzymes from acrosome part of sperm. Okay. Now while studying the structure of sperm, we have seen that, okay, the head part of sperm, it has a cap-like structure about it. It is known as acrosome. This acrosome, it is filled with hydrolytic enzymes. From that we have seen 3 important enzymes, which are those, just try to recall. There is a corona penetrating enzyme, there is a hyaluronidase, okay, and there is a zona lysine. So these 3 important enzymes, these enzymes, they are going to digest the membranes, okay, or layers surrounding to egg, okay, or secondary oocyte. Then we will call it as a secondary oocyte only. Okay, now let's see what is happening during acrosomal reaction. Now already we have seen the structure of secondary oocyte. Suppose I am not drawing the whole structure, a part of it. This is the part of secondary oocyte. This membrane, it is known as oolemma. Fine. Outside this oolemma, there is a layer of zona pellucida. Okay, so a thick layer of non-living material. This is the zona pellucida. Fine. And outside to the zona pellucida, these are cells of corona radiata. Okay. These cells, they are stuck to each other by means of hyaluronic acid. Okay. Fine. So these 3 layers are clear. This is oolemma. This is, yes, this is your zona pellucida, and this layer, it is corona radiata. The space between oolemma, okay, and zona pellucida, it is known as, yes, perivitelline space. Fine. Now let's see what is happening during acrosomal reaction. Now sperm, it is ready to fertilize the egg cell. Only 200 to 250 sperms can reach up to the egg cells. Yeah. Now what we discussed, 200 million sperms are deposited during insemination. From that, only 200 or up to 2 million sperms can reach, or they can move ahead. From that, only 200 to 250 million. From that only 200 to 250 sperms can reach the egg cell and will try to fertilize the egg, and from that only one will succeed in fertilizing it. Now during acrosomal reaction, what is happening? Okay, during or in contact with egg membrane. So when sperms come in contact with the egg membrane, sperm releases sperm releases hydrolytic enzyme, we commonly call it as sperm lysines. From which part? From acrosome. From acrosome. So which first reaction is taking place? When sperm comes in contact with the egg membrane, sperm releases sperm lysines, okay, from acrosome. Now which are those sperm lysines? 3 sperm lysines we discussed. The first one, okay, hyaluronidase. Hyaluronidase. Now what is does hyaluronidase? It acts on the hyaluronic acid, okay, which is a cementing material between the cells of corona radiata, and just separate out those cells. Separate out cells of corona radiata by dissolving hyaluronic acid. Okay, so hyaluronic acid, it dissolves the hyaluronic acid. Second one, corona penetrating enzyme. Second one, corona penetrating enzyme. Okay, once these cells get separated from each other, then what it does? It digests the zona. It digests the corona radiata layer to reach up to the egg membrane. So digest corona radiata layer to form passage. A passage up to zona pellucida. Okay, so to reach up to zona pellucida, it forms a passage over here. And the third enzyme, that is zona lysine or acrosin. Okay, now this enzyme digests the zona pellucida. Okay, digest zona pellucida. Fine. So these are the 3 hydrolytic enzymes, 3 important sperm lysines, okay, which try to penetrate the egg membrane. Till now this egg, it is at which stage? At a secondary oocyte stage. Its nucleus is arrested at metaphase 2. Okay, when it completes the meiotic division, when sperm penetrates inside the egg cell by digesting these walls. Fine. Now simultaneously one important reaction is taking place, that is known as compatibility reaction. See, here what is happening? When now sperm is here, here is your sperm. Fine. This sperm is trying to reach up to the membrane. So many sperms are present. Okay. Now suppose this sperm, it is near to the egg membrane and it is about to reach up to the zona pellucida. Fine. So here what happened? Once the sperm reaches the zona pellucida, compatibility reaction takes place. Fine. This compatibility reaction decides whether to accept the foreign cells or not. In case of plants also we have seen at the time of fertilization, compatibility reaction takes place. Okay. If it is or if it matches, then only that male gamete it is accepted. In the same way, when sperm it is in contact with the zona pellucida, there are some protein molecules which are attached to the zona pellucida. Okay, these proteins helps in the recognition reaction. Now here what happened? There is a step that is known as recognition or compatibility reaction. Compatibility reaction. Okay. So there are some protein molecules which are involved in this reaction. These protein molecules, they are located on the zona pellucida of secondary oocyte and on the head of sperm. So these protein molecules, they are known as fertilizing and anti-fertilizing. Very important point, fertilizing and anti-fertilizing. For compatibility reactions, special protein molecules are involved in this. Fertilizing, these are the special proteins which are present on the zona pellucida. So special proteins, and these proteins are identified as ZP1, ZP2, ZP3. Okay. So these proteins, they are present on zona pellucida. Present on zona pellucida. Okay. And these are glycoproteins, right? Anti-fertilizing, these are special proteins on head or on acrosomal surface of sperm. Okay. So these proteins, they help, means in the same way the antigen antibody, they bind to each other, they react to each other. In the same way, this fertilizing and anti-fertilizing, if they are compatible to each other, then only zona pellucida allows that sperm to enter inside. Fine. Now for this, okay, calcium ion it is also required, proper temperature it is required. Fine. So the first physical reaction in fertilization, that is acrosomal reaction. In acrosomal reaction, what is happening? The sperm which is in contact, means at a time so many sperms are trying to fertilize the egg set. In contact with the secondary oocyte, sperm releases sonalysine, hyaluronidase, corona penetrating enzymes. They digest the different layers. Meanwhile, compatibility reaction also takes place. Compatibility reaction involves a reaction between fertilizing and anti-fertilizing molecule. These are glycoproteins. Fertilizing is a special protein located on zona pellucida, whereas anti-fertilizing, they are located on acrosome of sperm. So agglutination reaction occurs, okay, and then secondary oocyte allows to enter inside the oocyte. Okay, so this is the first reaction. After this, what is happening? As soon as sperm enters, it triggers, okay, the second meiotic division. But before that, we have to see few more points. Now, what is happening? Now, the point from where the sperm is going to enter, a formation of reception cone takes place. Means that membrane slightly bulges out. So that is known as reception cone, okay, or fertilization cone. The membrane, it just bulges out slightly, and through that point the sperm it is taken in. Okay. So this is about acrosomal reaction. The next we will see, there is a special mechanism by which polyspermy can be occurred, or it can be prevented. Polyspermy means what? It is the entry of more than one sperm, okay, in the secondary oocyte. So to prevent that, some changes takes place, okay, in the secondary oocyte. So that we will see after this. The next point we will discuss, that is how to block the polyspermy, okay.